Hi, I'm Brian Noble, CEO of Family Policy Institute of Washington.
Hi, and I'm Brad Payne, FPIW Action President.
Couple of the disclaimers before we get started. None of this should be considered as an endorsement of the candidate, nor the candidate's endorsement of FPIW and or FPIW action. This is simply a public service to meet and greet the candidate. Also, let you know we are recording this and it will be posted in its entirety on multiple channels.
All right. Well, Sam, good morning. I get the first question.
All
So it's
right, great.
one, a couple things in this. One is just an introduction of your position, what position you're running for, and then introduce yourself, your name, and a little bit about you and your family.
Sure, absolutely. Well, thank you for so much for having me and for your time. My name is Sam Sim. I'm currently running for Legislative District 44 State Representative, Position 2, and the incumbent is April Berg. A little bit about me. I'm also currently the Snohomish County Outreach and Community Chairman, working together with Bill Cooper there. And I don't have too much experience in politics, to be honest. Officially, actually, just beginning of this year. But it's a very, very intriguing story because these opportunities sort of fell on my lap. So, for example, what I mean is, all of a sudden, I was asked to be president of Korean Association, which is the largest. I mean, I've been serving the public and the community here as well as my church for over a couple decades. And so I'm not averse to volunteering and community service and church work. But I was asked to be officially the chairman of Korean Association, which is the largest Korean association here in Washington State. And then 2 weeks after that, I met Bill Cooper and he asked me to be the outreach chair without any sort of prior experience. And I was on the path to actually uh, my father's a retired pastor, Southern Baptist, and I also attend seminary as well. And so I have a ministry. It's called Father School, and it's a global ministry and offered in over 30 countries. I'm the national director, and the headquarters is right here in Seattle, Washington, out of Community Church of Seattle, here in Bothell, right in my district. Community Church of Seattle, very briefly, is the first and oldest Korean immigrant church here in Washington State, and is the largest in the Northwest. So close to 4,000 members as of today. I'm an ordained deacon there. Father School Ministry started in Korea in the mid 1990s, and as of today, it's offered in over 30 countries. 500,000 fathers and men have graduated from this program so far, and we have over 5,000 volunteers all over the world. I'm responsible for USA. The premise and the mission of Father School is that God has ordained, biblically, God has ordained we as a fathers to take spiritual ownership for our lives and for our families. So you can imagine there's a lot of healing and reconciliation moments there. I'm still active in that ministry. So I was on the path to just focus on that. And all of a sudden, I have this civic engagement experience, Korean Association, and then Bill Cooper with Outreach Chair. And I'm going, oh, this is really interesting. Why is this happening back to back? And it's something that I prayed about, and I realized that God is really calling, I believe, foot soldiers. So this is the after conviction. My conviction is that I believe God is calling foot soldiers here publicly, especially in Washington State, people to stand up for what is right, what makes sense, and what is common sense, which, it ties back in, not only with my personal beliefs, but also with those of biblical principles as well. So in that opportunity, I saw this as a calling, and as a result, I accepted both positions without knowing anything, just to be obedient. Yeah.
Excellent. So what
Yeah,
would you say is motivating you? It sounds like maybe I
yeah,
don't want to put words in your mouth. So what is motivating
yeah.
you?
Several things. Number one is I wanted to be the bridge for our ethnic communities
Mhm.
and all of our communities to realize that we're all Americans, regardless of our background, regardless of our skin color, ethnicity, we're all Americans. And specifically because I'm Korean American, I mean, I was born in Honolulu, so but the Korean that I know is learned from Korean watching Korean drama, and
Yeah.
also my wife and going to church. But um, we if we don't if we don't have a voice, and if we're just so focused on as a community, making money and doing well in school, and that we've done that, and that's all great. But at the same time, if we don't have a voice, then I fear that the community may turn against us. And I wouldn't want us to be an island and have that isolation. We're only stronger together. And so I hope part of my call was I hope to set an example, to help, lead the way, hopefully, so that our community may see that. And
Excellent.
because I served at youth also at our church for over a decade in youth leadership, I have a heart for youth and the next generation.
Mhm.
So as part of that, I hope that with my example, that I can set an example for not only our ethnic Asian youth, but also all youth and the next generation. Is that wow, you know, Mr. Sim is doing it, and show me what is the path to get there, because I have a desire.
Excellent.
I want to help to show the path and the way. Yeah,
All right. To leave room for the next couple questions, Brad.
Yeah. So Sam, I know we have a time limit, of course. So
yeah.
it seems like kind of an open-ended question, but I'm looking for one specific concern that you have right now going on in our culture. And then what do you hope to accomplish? One thing that you hope to accomplish if you're elected into office?
Yes. Well, there's a laundry list, as you would imagine.
Sure.
And as I've been going around doorbelling, I can say that it's been so positive because the party conversation has not really come up at all. When I talk about these issues, and there's one in particular, pretty much 100% is behind this and they want change right away. And so it's been great. It's been very encouraging. The one that I can think of is the parents' right to choose in education and focusing back on academics for academics' sake. Because right now in Washington State, I'm sure we know these factoids, but we're number one, or sorry, in Washington State, we have a 60% fail rate still as an average for math. We have a 50% fail rate for basic reading. Meanwhile, we're implementing DEI. I'm Asian American. I'm considered an ethnic minority, but because of unless mismanaged programs, DEI being one of them, I believe that it distracts away from that core academic focus, and so that's why we have the numbers that we do today. And you've had a 40% increase in homeschooling this past year, and a 40% increase in private school recruitment and registration. Now, here's the interesting thing. Out of those numbers, out of African American families, the Black families, their registrations to private schools and homeschooling has tripled.
Hmm.
So it has very little to do with that as opposed to focusing on our core academics again. That message resonates 100% with my entire community here when I have those conversations.
Great.
Back to core academics. Yeah.
Fourth and final question. We provided you with our issues and policies that we are constantly working on at FPIW Action and FPIW. Is there any of those individual freedom, public safety, legal immigration, efficient energy, environmental stewardship, any of those that you would like to comment on?
Public safety. So, top three in my platform, public safety. Also, another factoid in Washington State, we're number one. We're number one in the country for having the least police officers and law enforcement per capita.
Hmm.
And so when I think about what have these senseless shootings of innocent teenagers and children that died, from crossfire shooting at Alderwood Mall here recently, I just have to think it breaks my heart. And I just have to think that if we had more qualified and good people, officers patrolling, that creates more deterrence. Back our blue and let's Going back to your question, Brad, one of the things that, if elected, I would like to implement is a retention bonus and incentive program to recruit good qualified officers again. And we, of course, we do all of the background checks because we want good, healthy people. Get them recruited, train them well, and then get them back into rotation, patrolling our streets again. And let's create neighborhoods and a community that our children can grow into and be proud of for the future. Place where they can play safely.
Well, thank you, Sam. We appreciate it. Well thought out responses to the questions. We appreciate your time with us this morning, and we wish you much luck in these next couple of weeks with your campaigning, and not much longer to go before the big day. So thank you again for joining us. I appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you all very much. I appreciate you.
All right. Well, I'm Brad Payne with FPIW Action.
And I'm Brian Noble from FPIW. Again, we want to reiterate, nothing here is an endorsement of the candidate, nor the candidate's endorsement of FPIW, nor FPIW Action. We want to encourage you to love your neighbor by faithfully stewarding the public square. Let's all go out there and defend and advance biblical values in the public square.